a very good morning, whatever time you are viewing this from. Welcome. My name is Elvis Omondi, and I have an interesting guest, Father Marcel Uineza. Have I pronounced that right?
Very well.
Okay, Father Marcel Uineza is the current principal at Hekima University College. Yes, I've gotten also that right. All right. And Father Marcel, maybe to somebody who hasn't interacted with you, somebody who hasn't met you, who is Father Marcel?
Thank you very much, Elvis, for inviting me, and it's an honor, and greetings to all our viewers.
Yes.
To someone who hasn't met with me, I'm a person who has risen from the ashes, the ashes of the genocide. And there are events in life that we encounter, and they change the course of our outlook, our being, our way of viewing the world, and Rwandan experience is one of those. Uwineza in Kinyarwanda means one with kindness. And Marcel is one who works hard, a fighter for a greater cause. So I am grateful to my parents who have given me those wonderful names.
There are names that the translation is powerful. Do you believe there is power in names?
There is power in names. To our viewers who have had the privilege of reading Mind Boy, a novel from South Africa, set in the era of apartheid, we know that there were many people who were not named. They were only known by numbers. And the writer of Mind Boy kept saying, they only know me by number. What is in a name? A name gives an identity, a name gives a horizon. And usually in Africa, parents name you because they have a particular wish or a perspective or the context under which you are born. Those sometimes have determined the names we are given. And so my parents have given me this name because I'm first born in my family. And when I was born, my parents had been married for nearly 3 years, but it took a while before I was conceived. And so one of the family relatives started causing trouble that my mother is barren, she can't conceive. And yet it was the decision of my parents. So finally when I was born, they gave me the word Uwineza to mean this is of the kindness of God to extinguish fire in the family. So I cherish my name. And I hope I can radiate goodness and kindness, if you like, fadhili to everyone.
Fadhili na wema, that's Swahili.
Yes, exactly.
When you speak about names, especially in the African context, we give names based on seasons. Like where I come from, the Luo community, names are given probably based on the time somebody's born, based on the season somebody's born. For example, if somebody is, or there are twins born, there is a specific name for twins. So with those names, they tend to be common. So I don't know, Uwineza, is it a common name in Rwanda or is it a unique name?
No, you have quite a number of people who have the name Uwineza. So I'm not alone. And not necessarily people with whom I am related by blood. So you find it with many, many people. I think the desire is that we radiate goodness. And that's what, when you are given that name.
All right. So maybe away from that, you are a father under the Catholic Church, of course. The order is Jesuit. What is this thing for non-Catholics? How would you explain the orders under the Catholic Church?
Thank you very much, Mr. Omondi. It's a good question, and many people begin to ask. We have diocesan priests, we have Dominicans, we have Jesuits, we have Franciscans. Why all this? It's good to appreciate that in life and within the Catholic Church, we have the gift of different charisms, different gifts. And actually that is, you find that even in the first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians, chapter 12, that some are given gift of prophecy, others of teaching, others of administration, others of speaking in tongues.
But all these
Yes,
gifts,
so
they
these
edify
gifts
the Lord.
all to build the body of Christ.
Yes.
So the Jesuits in particular is a religious order made up of men, priests and brothers, which was founded by St. Ignatius of Loyola in 1490. And when he was born in 1490, and then he was wounded when he was fighting the French. He was a Spaniard, a Spanish. And when he was fighting, he was wounded. And during his convalescence, when he was recovering, he began to ask, I've been running after glory. But all this has not satisfied me. Can I look for something that is more satisfying? And the only thing that was in his room was a book of the gospel, and then the good book of the lives of the saints, especially Francis of Assisi and Saint Dominic. And every time he read the life of Jesus, he felt fulfilled. Or life of Saint Dominic, life of Saint Francis of Assisi. And compared to the fame he sought before, he would put it on a weighing scale. He say, when I think of this, the fame, reputation, glory I sought before my woundedness, it is short-lived. But then when I think of how Christ lived in his humility, it lasts longer. That's how he was converted. And later on, of course, he went to France to study, and he will form a group around himself, and notably Francis Xavier. Many people will know him. Even here in Kenya, we have a parish named after St. Francis Xavier. And then later, they will offer themselves to the Pope in 1540. They went to offer themselves to the Pope, and then they formed a congregation. The charism really, first of all, as a way of helping souls. Helping souls. Of course, that can have different ways of helping souls. So through retreats, showing the way to God, or education. Jesuits are mostly known in the education sector, especially intellectual apostolate, or social ministry. We help a lot the poor and care for the environment. So several charisms that, of course, are first of all rooted in the fact that we desire to be men of God. It's not climbing the ladder, but first of all, to be men dedicated to God at the service of the church. Obviously, some other congregations can do that, but we have it in our particular Ignatian way. So I hope that answers your question.
It answers most of the questions I have. Maybe probably still on the same. When it comes to the orders within the Catholic Church, the most, I think, talked about, especially for my generation, those of us who went to high school between 2014 and 2017, we may know of the Opus Dei, because there is a famous novel that we read, and it extensively touched on that. What is the difference between, let's say, Opus Dei and Jesuit? Where is the difference? Why can't we have just one?
I think the answer I gave it previously is in the way we carry out our ministry. So the Jesuits are called to be contemplatives in action.
What does that mean?
So what that means, the world is our monastery. We are not confined to one place. So you can find a Jesuit in the inner city, in the middle of the city, in a rural parish, or in Kibera, or in a university like me, or just keep teaching catechism. So we usually say the world is our home, our parish. And that's how Ignatius wanted it. While some other congregations, notably Opus Dei, will also have their way, particular way of conducting their ministry. So if you want to know who a Jesuit is, and our documents put it beautifully, following Jesus, humble and poor. And in every ministry we carry. And of course, that they should know a Jesuit, first of all, by looking at Jesus, how he carried himself. The typical example one will take is Pope Francis. Many may not have understood him, but he often pointed to Jesus Christ. How would Jesus have reacted in this situation? I think when we put that question in perspective, we begin to see some of the reactions, perspectives, teachings of Pope Francis. So the Opus Dei will have their way.
Their way of doing things.
Franciscans will have their way. Dominicans will be more in preaching the word, so the order of preachers. The Franciscans will be more geared towards a life of simplicity and poverty. You will certainly have the Salesians who will deal with the young people, ministry to the young people. So again, it goes back to charism. Which gift specific to the Jesuits that helps us to save the world? And so we carry out in multiple ways. In retreat direction, spiritual direction, intellectual apostolate, parish, outreach to the poor, care for the environment, all this as a way of building the body of, and always in obedience to the local church, to the local ordinary, the bishop, and of course, the Pope.
Maybe to land or to close that chapter of the Jesuit, there are a lot of whispers, let me call them whispers, about the Jesuit, especially when it comes to the secretiveness. Things that are attributed to them, I don't know, let me call them conspiracy theories, assassinations, attempts to control the governments. Is there anything in that?
No. I wonder where people get those type of things.
Why would people get,
I just wonder where people get, and actually giving them value is already, even talking about them is giving them value they don't deserve. We are men of God. Really at the heart for us is to preach the gospel in the different context. Those conspiracy theories, either they come from jealousy of how we conduct our ministry, either they come from some who feel an inferiority complex against Jesuits, or simply dislike, or some Jesuits may have not conduct themselves well, but that does not give the whole picture of the Jesuits. So with all respect, if you want to learn a community, you go and
live within the community.
Them. We are men of God.
All right. Away from that, your story. Right now you're in Kenya, but this story does not begin in Kenya. Where does it begin?
Oh, my story begins in central Rwanda. I'm born in 1980, so I'm 46. And central Rwanda to a wonderful parents, Chrysostom and Louise, who raised me beautifully in my early adolescence. And in central Rwanda, they took me to the best schools. They loved me, as one would imagine, especially as a firstborn. They were very prayerful parents. And with all humility, I did well in school. So my father was always pleased whenever he came home. He was a businessman. So fairly, we are not extremely rich family, but we are not an extremely poor family. We are middle class family. My mom was a teacher. And so there was always some level of discipline and rigor at home, but still a loving mom. And then we were a very prayerful family. I remember the first, a few days before I went to receive Holy Communion in the Catholic Church. That's the day you receive Jesus for the first time in the Eucharist. My dad approached me and he said, "My son, you are going to receive Jesus for the first time on Sunday." That was on a Friday. What will you tell Jesus? Now, I used to be a very inquisitive boy. I looked at Dad and I said, "Dad, why do you want to know?" That's an affair between me and Jesus.
Wow.
Dad was not very pleased, like any father, any parent.
Any African parent, that will
He actually slapped me. But honestly, I don't